What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? Today's video, I wanted to go and talk a little bit about some more of these new Galactic Legends and the current ones you already have. Altogether, we are going to have now four. We're going to have the Rey, the Luke, Kylo, and also this new Palpatine. So, I mean, we don't really have even all the requirements. I know we're going to get some more here shortly. Today's video will be on a Thursday. So, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some requirements I'll probably talk about as well. But besides, knowing those requirements, we don't even know all of them. We won't even know all of them for a little while. So I don't really think it's worth saying, oh, you should already go for, these new ones, these new Jedi Master Luke and Palpatine. I wouldn't say going for those right now. I already still believe, and I'm always in the mindset of just hoarding. Everybody should really be in those mindsets of hoarding. I know you might not like to do that, but if you want to get the next best thing in the game, that's really the best way you can possibly go about that. There's just really no other way to really get that next best thing without hoarding or spending that money, right? I mean, you can probably do a little bit of both of me just fine, but for me, I've been trying to not spend as much money on this game anymore. The last little chunk of money I spent was to finish up my Kylo, and that was like, I don't even know, I bought one of those relic bundles, and that was like 3 months ago, but that's besides the point. I'm just talking about hoarding, and talking about these new Galactic Legends, it's hard to say which one you want to go for, because it could be the same. It's kind of funny, I'm going to bring this up. It could be the same exact thing that happened between the Rey and the Kylo when they were first out. Everybody was like, oh my gosh, Rey is going to be the best thing ever. And then, Kylo, and was like, oh, Kylo's kid's still pretty good, but we still all feel like Rey's is a little bit better. And this was like at the freaking start of when they were first launched, right? I mean, I'm just on the front screen here, but here we go. Let's go to the Galactic Legends, right? Everybody was like, oh, look at this Rey. She's going to be the best thing ever. I mean, her kit's pretty amazing. We all thought that her kit was amazing, and it still is amazing. But then, people were kind of like underlooking and overlooking, rather, this new Kylo. And I'm feeling the same thing is going to happen again with these new, Luke and Palpatine. I feel like people are going to be hyping up one of them while the other one's going to be underlooked. And then everybody, the vast majority of everybody will be going for that one that is going to be hyped up. And for me, that's what happened with the last two, the Rey and the Kylo. I was so hyped up on the Rey. I mean, just looking at it, I had none of the resistance built up. I mean, you can see mine that they're now all built up, but like back then and like whenever they were first out, I forget when it was, like March or April, I don't even know. But I mean, look, I had none of these guys with anything. I mean, I think the one I had the most was my R2 and like 3PO, and that was about it. Everybody else was like Gear 12, Gear 11, or maybe even not even locked yet, and still like having to work out on 7-star. And I spent so much money and time and hoarding and just everything. My whole focus in the game was to get this one Galactic Legend, and then it turned out that she still was pretty good, but over time she kind of fell off, and Kylo is definitely the better one to go for if you were to go for one first, right? So I'm kind of upset about that, and I don't want to make that same mistake again. And for that reason, I'm going to recommend to everybody and myself, what I'm going to try to do myself is just a hoard. Hoard. This is what you guys got to do, And once we do get the kits out, you can kind of look at that a little bit. But even then, I still wouldn't put any amount of any resources into any of those prerequisites until you actually can get a feel for them yourselves, or you watch other people use them, and then you know for a fact, okay, yeah, I'm going for this one first, because Kylo's kit has now gotten buffed twice. I think once to his leadership, and I don't even, something with his ultimate, I think that was for both GLs, that I forget, but I mean the biggest one was for his leadership, right? And like, what if they have the same thing that happens with one of these other new GLs, one of the Lukes or the Palpatine? Like, you don't know, and it's just so hard, it's so early to say which ones you would want to go for, right? So it's kind of hard for me to say that. For me, I would still say if you're close to a current GL, I mean, you would just finish them up, right? I would do the same thing. But if you're not close to one and you're still on the fence about whether you want to, go for a Kylo, which I would recommend, or if you want to hoard for one in the future, I mean, you can kind of still hoard and work on some things as you continue and progress, right? I think that's definitely doable. So, I mean, I got both of the GLs. I'm just hoarding right now at the moment. I've got a lot of this hoard going. I would say I'm a pretty decent chunk towards a new GL. If I wanted to, I could probably use my current hoard and spend a little bit of money and get them, day one for one of them, not two of them, just one of them. But like the same thing, we don't know what we're gonna be getting here shortly for the GL requirements. Like, it's so hard to say, it's way too early. So I don't know. But the one thing I want to talk about, I'll probably do a whole separate video, and I want to rehash this. I talked about this around the same time the first GLs for these two came out, and it's all about these. I guess I can go back in here. It's all about the relic stuff here. I mean, all of these things. I want to do a video about farming these, the best way to do it, the most efficient way to do it, and what I've had the most success with in the past while I am hoarding and farming these things, right? I can do one just about the data here, the signal data, or I can go about the materials as well. Maybe just combine both of them into a video, I don't know. But I want to definitely talk about that for sure. You can see I have a lot of the greens and the grays built up, not a whole lot of blues, and I want to talk about that in a recent video. But yeah, I mean, this is like the biggest part, I would say. Besides the gear and these are the two biggest things I feel like when it comes in regards rather to farming and getting a galactic legend. Because now for this new one, you're going to have 14 prerequisites, and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some ships involved as well as the last time we had the GLs. So there's gonna be a lot of things to have to work on and worry about. And for that, I'm just going to say, you know, you gotta just be hoarding your butt off, man. You gotta really hoard hard. What I've been doing currently, and what I'll kind of talk to you guys about, and what my farms have been, I guess you could say, haven't been the most extreme amounts of, you know, efficiency, but I'm kind of a bit laid back and just doing it by my, you know, as I'm going on. I'm still trying to, right now, I'm currently trying to get my ultimate Kylo done. I need 4 more of these ultimate mats, so I'm actually been going hard on doing those refreshes. I've been doing all my hundreds rather, and I've been going all out on my my computers for the Kyros. So I have a lot of these Kyros saved up just from doing these daily. My crystal amount right now is pretty high, I guess you could say, for just hoarding. It's been a couple months now. I haven't spent any crystals, so it's almost at 20k. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of those ultimate things. But in the meanwhile, rather, I'm going to, and I have been farming a lot of the Cantina ones for that data, and I want to do a whole video talking about that. So that's a couple of the things I've been doing as well. But like the whole thing about like this whole point of this video is, you know, it's hard to say which ones you want to go for, but this is more of just like talking about the best ways to go about it. And the mindset, I would say most of you guys are probably thinking, and maybe you guys are the same way as me, just hoarding about all of it all, or maybe you want to go and choose like a Kylo, or maybe you want to just go bite the bullet and just go all out for these new requirements, even though we don't even have the whole picture for those guys, right? But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to consider when it comes to these new GLs, because a lot of people probably are going to, I mean, I've seen some people in my GAC that have disregarded like gas and JKL and have gone straight for a GL. And that's not a bad thing, because those are some good investments. But, you know, as you are getting those GLs, you're going to put forth a lot of effort into those other garbage characters. And there's just a lot of things there that I'm just really not a huge fan of, because, you know, I've never gotten use out of my Phasma a whole lot, not gotten a whole lot of use out of my Rose Tico. You know, there's a lot of those characters that are just going to be, you know, at the wayside, not being used at all. You know, it's just completely useless, right? But the things I would consider here are where you want to use them the most in, you know, the vast majority of your game and your, you know, SWGoH experience, because you got to keep in mind, not everybody is end game like me. You know, there's gonna be people that are gonna be starting off, maybe some mid game players, and they're looking, I can't talk. They're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna go for a gel now. Which one should I go for? Which one will give me the most bang for your buck? And at the moment, it's going to be Kylo. So for those people, you can definitely go for Kylo still, or maybe you want to hold off a little bit and save your, you know, your time and your resources to get these new ones out, and then maybe there's a better one that comes out that is better in vast majority of the game modes over Kylo. Not saying that there's going to be one that's going to trump over the other in arenas or metas or anything like that, because they did say that all of these GLs will be around the same amount of power, and one will not trump over the other, but that could definitely change. You never know, CG, right? But I'm just saying, you know, at the moment, Kylo is the king when it comes to the whole entire game and what he can accomplish by himself. But you never know. We might have this new Palpatine be even better. Same with Luke. We don't know. But there's like a lot of things to consider here, guys. Farming and hoarding is some of the biggest things you can do if you are somewhat free to play, or free to play as a, you know, completely free to play rather. There are so much things to consider. And on top of that, you know, you got to worry about everything else in the game, your energies, your farms, because you're not, you know, you can go straight for hoarding all of your materials and all your resources for a GL, but you also got to keep in mind the mods. You got to keep in mind the other gear for the other guys you got to probably work on for other new characters. But like one of the biggest things here is the new marquees, because these new marquees will most likely, or probably will, I guess you can say, it's a guarantee that these guys will be needed for the new requirements. So, like, for example, the new 3PO and Chewie, and also Mon Mothma, you know, Piet probably will be one as well. I mean, he already is, rather. I'm stupid. He already is. But, like, stuff like that, you got to really worry about those guys even more so, because they will be probably needed. and they will actually be needed. These ones will be, but like in the future ones, you never know, those ones might be needed as well. But those ones in particular will be needed, and you got to worry about those now on top of everything else. So like there's so much things to consider here. A big thing I just mentioned a little bit ago was mods. I mean, I'm still personally doing all my mod farms. I've been doing all the 50s. I've gotten some good mods as well. I mean, this whole game is just a whole lot of management if you guys want to take it seriously. I mean, there's so much things to consider in this game. You know, you got to have some good mods if you want to have some good GACs, TWs, all that sort of stuff. And you also got to get some good farms going for these new characters. It's such a long farm, and it's really hard. But I do want to do some more videos talking about all these things in particular. Today's just kind of my thoughts on, you know, which ones I would go for personally, what my whole game plan is going to kind of be. Personally, I've just been hoarding a lot of stuff. My materials, my relic materials, my signal data, my gear, all that sort of stuff. I'm farming and hoarding right now at the moment. It's not the funnest thing to do, I know, because I would trust me, I would love to get my troopers up now with Pete in the game and just go crazy and just annihilate things. But I gotta hoard because I want to go for one of the GLs. I don't want to, you know, mess up and make a mistake of putting resources into something that's not going to be needed or used at all because we don't even know the whole requirements. So I think it's a little bit too early to say which ones you want to go for at the moment. So pretty much just hoard and hoard and hoard, guys. That's all I would say. And that's it for my video. Hoard. I might even put that in my title, just hoard. That's like the only thing I'll say in my title. I don't even know. But yeah, if you guys have any more ideas for videos you guys would like me to do, I talked about doing some more relic materials and how to farm some of those things up quickly. Maybe doing some more things regarding, you know, just some more talk about the Galactic Legends that we'll be probably getting here shortly with the requirements. And yeah, I think we'll be getting some more of those requirements being you know, put out, and you know which ones will be which here shortly. So I'll probably cover that as well. But any other video ideas you guys let me know down below in the wow, what is it called? YouTube comments. Go down in the comment section. Go let me know down there. We got some more things there in the description. We got some Discord links. We got a Patreon. We got channel memberships. Go check them all out, guys. If you enjoyed the video today, give it a like, share it around, and sub to the channel if you guys are new. That's all for now. For now, guys, thanks for watching. Until next time, I will see you all later. Peace out.